Even during this interview, I've noticed there's two sides of me. There's a side that's on the surface, that's able to tell you these stories, and that's how the stories come out. Is I put them out on the exterior walls, as if they almost happened to somebody else, and that's how I could talk about them. Dave and I had been up late cooking steaks, and I was feeling tired, so I went into. I was feeling tired, so I went into his bedroom and decided I was gonna go to sleep. So I sat on the bed, and when I sat down, I felt something, and it was I reach and pull it out, and it's a gun. It's a 40 caliber Glock, and it's obviously surprised me. You leave a gun under a blanket, just randomly on a bed. So I set it on his dresser and, kind of did a double take with it, and then laid on his bed to go to sleep. And I laid face down. And within a few minutes, I was drifting off to sleep. I can remember hearing Dave in the next room, cooking in the kitchen, hearing the steaks cooking. And I drifted off, and somewhere in between half conscious and sleep, I heard Dave come in and say, "Get up." And I remember mumbling, I'm tired, just go ahead and eat without me. And next thing I heard was the action on the pistol, and I heard him say, "Get up or I'm going to shoot you in the ass." I'll go back to see if I can sum that up quicker. I was laying on the bed, and Dave was in the other room cooking steaks. And within a few minutes, I drifted off to sleep, and I was woken up by Dave saying, "Get up." And I said, "Nah, go ahead and eat. I'm just going to sleep." Next thing I heard was the action on the gun closing. Just as it registered, I felt the muzzle hit my tailbone. As soon as the muzzle hit me, the gun went off. And you always hear in movies or from people that after you get shot, within a few minutes, shock kicks in and the pain kind of subsides. That never happened to me. When the gun went off, I remember flipping over. When the gun went off my body, I remember feeling my body bounce with the gun, with the blast. And then I remember rolling over, saying, "You shot me." And Dave said, "No, I didn't shoot you." And I remember reaching to feel, the entrance wound, and pulling my hand back and seeing the blood. And that's when it sank in with both of us, is that, wow, this is really happening. Freaked out, and he threw the gun, saying, "No, I didn't shoot you." He couldn't believe it, and he ran off. And I heard the front door close. Where's he going? I remember lifting up my shirt to try and find the exit wound, and there was this lump right above my belly button. And by then I was already in shock, and I remember digging at it with my hands. For some reason I thought if I could pull this bullet out, it'll fix everything. And as I was prying at it a little bit, by then I started going into shock where my vision was flickering, everything was starting to trace, things start to freeze, and you start hearing the audio kind of echo and relapse, and you find yourself just staring at inanimate objects. I remember putting my thumb in the bullet hole. First I see Dave's reaction as he runs out of the house, terrified. I'm laying on the bed, could hardly move, I can't wiggle my feet. Then the neighbor comes in, Paul, and I see his reaction on his face. And his reaction couldn't hide it. I'm wondering if I'm paralyzed. By then, I was in a good-sized puddle of blood on the bed. And To describe the pain, it felt like somebody had reached up as high as they could with a sledgehammer and just hit me on the tailbone, and at the same time lit my intestines on fire. It felt like something was boiling inside. I was, no matter how hard I tried to close my eyes, the pain was still there. I could not drift off. Eventually, I could remember the idea slipping into my head once I thought, all right, maybe my femoral arteries hit. It could have hit organs. I might be dead in 5-6 minutes. Once that thought crept into my head, that was my way out. In my mind, I started to make up the decision, okay, the only way out of this pain at this moment is death. And somehow it made sense, you know. And then I saw my brother's reaction. I don't know how he held it together, but his initial reaction was a sigh of relief. And his words to me were, "Oh, don't worry, bud, you're okay. You're not as bad as I thought." And that's when I decided, oh, I have family. I'm going to start fighting this. Then I hear another car drive up the gravel parking lot, and I see my dad come through. And his initial instincts, he came right to my bedside, saw me in the condition I was, and throw up and blood. And I could remember him sticking his hand straight across the bed and wiping away the throw up. So finally, 25 minutes later, the ambulance arrives, and after that, it's pretty hazy. My next memory is waking up from surgery. I would say I have a lot of scars. I have the obvious one that I see every morning in the mirror after I take a shower. No matter how normal I want to be, that scar always reminds me of what happened.